Yes.
Okay, so kind of going back to what you said about we're just in relationships because there's not really like a reason why we're doing it. I think these all kind of tie together because I think that we're all kind of figuring ourselves out. Even when you get into your 30s, 40s, you're still figuring yourself out. So you might come into a relationship thinking, I'm super open, I'm wavy with everything you want to do. And then that particular person might, change your mindset about things. I might think I'm like open, I want a girlfriend and a boyfriend, I want everything. But then I meet somebody who challenges me in a way where I'm just like, you know what, maybe I just want to be with one person. Okay. So I think the dynamics can change with who you.
I was saying it's the principle,
Exactly.
Like when you get into a relationship, like to some degree you trust that person. Like no matter what agreement you have with that person, like you're trying to build some sort of trust. And like you said, like people can evolve in relationships. And I feel like a lot of times, like even when you try to come to an agreement in the beginning, it's difficult because like again you're trying to understand yourself. Like you meet somebody you really like, and like things change. So like you gotta be like, I feel like both people need to be flexible.
Be honest with yourself, and I think I'm not saying that people are purposely dishonest with themselves, but I think it takes a level of having lived life and having experienced things, and then evaluating it. Like you can't live and just have things happen to you and just keep tripping forward. You need to evaluate the things that happen to you. And that's how you begin to learn. That's some bullshit right there. I'm sorry.
Bring it.
Why is it okay for men to like dip into all of these, but it's not okay for like why?
But it is.
You're right about that.
I think we say that here. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think we say that here at this time, but then when we go and we get into an argument, and the first thing a man calls a woman is a bitch or a hoe. And it's like when we go and tell our brothers, our mothers, and our fathers, well, this is what he said to me. When they go to talk to him, they're not necessarily, well, man, why you feel like that? Well, she shouldn't be busting it wide open for another such and such.
No, but the
busting it.
reason why there's a double standard is because women have a higher threshold for bullshit, and men have theirs is lower. So we all do the same things, but we've all been in a situation where the man cheats on us a billion times and we put up with it. You do it the one time. Can I finish? Okay. The woman cheats the one time. The woman cheats the one time. They're through with us, right? Yeah. And it's like but their threshold is this low for the bullshit.
And I would consider myself spiritual, although I was raised Catholic, family in the church every single Sunday. I was raised that way. But it's a contradiction in itself, in my opinion, to say belief in religion. Religion is a construct made by man. So I'm spiritual, believe in a higher power, but I don't believe the social constructs based around religion. I think that bottles up our spirituality. It was, Christianity, for example, was pushed on us by Anglo-Saxons, by white folks.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day. And everything white folks. And really,
I date a pastor. Child, I don't know how the Lord said, don't do that.
Okay, Red, listen out, grow.
Child, the ghetto. Okay. But no. I agree with you to an extent, but I'm gonna take it back. I can't really speak on Muslim culture or any other type of culture. I can really just speak on like as far as Christianity. I feel like a lot of times I'm kind of like shifting the conversation a little bit. We go by what we were taught, and a lot of times that goes back to when you were saying what we convert. And if you have done thorough research in Buddhism and a lot of other religions, they are quite similar to Christianity. A lot of the same principles. And I know a lot of people looking like, girl, she ain't going to church. But no, seriously. And you know, I also kind of like studied some of it, not as much as you with the Anglo-Saxons. You can probably.
but in my opinion, if you look at things from a simplistic perspective, the King James Bible, that's blasphemous, in my opinion, if it's the word of God, because I wouldn't take Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech and say the COLTON version of Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech.
Right.
You'd be like, hell no, what are you thinking?
Right.
That's what they've done with the word of God. And when you can take books of the Bible in and out, you don't get the full story. And if I tell you only a certain perspective of the story, then how can you believe that story is correct?
Right.
Something that can we all agree that like humans are imperfect beings. And humans put the Bible together. Humans constructed it, humans translated it, humans did all that stuff. That means that the Bible in itself is an imperfect document. It is not perfect.
I just feel like the Bible at this point has become, have you ever been writing a paper in school and you really didn't do any of the research? So you copy and paste the whole thing, right? But you change like every couple of words so the teacher can't find out. That's how I feel the Bible is right now. I feel like it is plagiarized by...
So he's been busting it open as
No, you have crossed that line. Okay, conversation over now.
Because at the end of the day, before we are these titles of who we are, at the end of the day, we still are human. Right. And we realize that we all may sin and fall short, and whatever that looks like in our respective lives.
I'm old school, and I was taught submission, okay? Yet independence. Okay. So not totally relying, we can never rely on anyone else 100%, right? So still being able to do things on my own, but submitting to my husband. And I practiced that when we were dating, because that's hard, ladies. It's hard to submit to somebody. It's hard for anybody to submit. But there's moments where my husband submits to me as well, but he's the head of the household. And if he says something like, hey, we're not gonna go to this event tomorrow, because I don't think we should go. I will analyze that. I might come back and say, well, I feel this way. But whatever he says at the end of it, that's what goes. And I think that's healthy to be able to share.
Expect me because, hey, heels, makeup, that I am the woman in the relationship. That is not the case. I am a man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if you are a woman, you can handle your own.
But yes, but at the end of, like when people ask me like which one of you are the woman and which one is the man, that doesn't happen in this household, you know, like that's not how we organize things in our house.
Right.
He does this, I do this. That's just how it is. Like I don't have a role where I'm doing specific things that a woman is supposed to do in a household, and he's not doing things that a man is supposed to do. We are equal partners, and that's how I feel like it should be in a cis relationship as well.